What is up, everybody? Today we have a fantastic guest. Mr. Juwann Winfree, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, joins me. But first, we got to give a little shout out to the Quick Trip. Go and get yourself a Quick Rewards app. All right, you can win some free stuff. You know what I mean? I get a free chocolate milk every now and again. I get really excited inside. You know what I mean? It's like when you're at the bar and someone buys you a beer. You know what I mean? Even though you got to usually buy one back, but if you leave early, you know what I mean? You get out of that thing. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they also have a Quick Cast podcast. Check it out. It's available everywhere you listen to podcasts. The Quick Trip podcast called the Quick Cast. All right. We have a great guest today. Big shout out to Shay and Jenny. You know what I mean? But let's get into this thing. Juwann Winfree, we talk about how he came up. He won the key to the city of New Jersey. All right. He's about to do big things. He's going to get more opportunities. I'm excited to see him ball out. You know what I mean? Number 88 for your Green Bay Packers, Mr. Juwann Winfree. Let's get at this thing. What's up, everyone? We are joined with Juwann Winfree. Thanks for joining me today, my man.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I want to get right to it. I want to talk to you about you got the key to the city from Englewood, New Jersey, where you are from. What was that all about?
Man, I was huge, man. Shout out to my city, for honoring me and giving me that key. It's a huge symbol of respect and honor. And I was raised out here. I went to public school my whole life. Englewood is a small city, so New Jersey's is small in general, and then the Englewood itself is a small suburban city. Everybody knows each other. One high school, two middle schools, and I went through the whole public school system throughout my whole life, and was able to end up on top, and just a huge symbol of motivation for my city, and they lean on me for hope. So that was big for getting that, and I don't take it for granted any day.
Yeah, I'm from a small town. I mean, I'm from Green Bay, but even where I live now is even smaller, like 4,000 people. How many people are in Englewood?
I'm not sure how many people. It's actually like it's pretty diverse, because we're like one of the first cities after crossing the New York Washington Bridge, coming from New York City to New Jersey. So it's pretty diverse. Maybe I would like to search that and find out myself, but I'm sure it's bigger than we got more people in Green Bay, but still pretty small in itself.
Yeah, that's not saying a whole bunch, but so who was your team growing up? Obviously you're from New Jersey. You have a few options over there. Who was your team as a kid?
Man, I rotated quite a bit, but I could definitely say I was a huge Ravens fan at a point. Probably like elementary to middle school, huge Ravens fan. Their defense, I played a lot of offense and defense, and just the Ravens defense, it was legendary. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, it left something on me as a kid. So definitely was a Ravens fan.
That's funny because I've got the opportunity to talk to like a few Packer players. I think everyone has mentioned the Ravens because I always ask that question. Wow. I think it's interesting to see like who people rooted for like growing up, and I think like I talked to Adrian. I think most people have mentioned the Ravens, especially I talked to defensive guys. Yeah, Ray Lewis. Really, I think that's a guy that really motivates dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, who was the guy for you growing up? Like well, first of all, like you play wide receiver in college, obviously in the NFL. Like in high school, you talked about like you played both sides. So what positions did you all play first of all in high school?
I played wide receiver, kick return, punt return, plays cornerback and safety. So I watched the athletes. I loved athletes. I watched Patrick Peterson. I loved Des Bryant. I was a big Des Bryant fan. Randy Moss, Sean Jackson, Chad Ochocinco. I remember drawing Chad Ochocinco when I was drawing a football pick when I was like maybe third grade, fourth grade. I was drawing. He was an idol for me. Him, Ed Reed. So those are about some of the guys that I grew up watching.
Yeah, that was me. One of my questions. Yeah, Ocho Cinco, like back in the day, because you were like young. Like I remember when the Packers won Super 31, and that was '96. That
Uh,
'96 season. That was the year you were born. Because so I, that just shows how old I am. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So so if you had to pick like one wide receiver, like growing up, like or even in college, like this is the dude, like whether you watch film on him or just like is it Ocho Cinco, like you just mentioned him, but like it if there was like one wide receiver, like not to say I want to be that guy, but like that just like a someone that you looked up to.
Um, definitely. Throughout my younger days, definitely Des Bryant. Like high school, high school to early college, definitely was Des Bryant. Um, this is that his style. I'm closer to his size. His gameplay. It was real heavy attack mode. Heavy attack mode. He's just embarrassing players, and he was able to do it all. So Des Bryant was definitely one of those guys for me.
Is he like still a guy today? Like, do you watch film like during the off season? Like, oh, I can get a little bit better at this, a little bit better at that. Is he one of those guys? Is that how it goes?
Um, I mean, I don't really watch him like that anymore in terms of that way, but I mean, I'm definitely always watching and see who I can learn from and who I can get better. I've watched a lot of Julio Jones, a lot of Keenan Allen, a lot of Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, of course. A guy with similar attributes, definitely.
All right, yeah, yeah. Uh, who is I got notes over here. I'm not looking at my phone or nothing. But as a youngster, who is a quarterback that you watch? Really like, man, I would love to catch balls from this dude right here.
Um, Michael Vick,
Yeah,
Mike Vick, yeah, definitely.
yeah. He was so fun to watch, even though like he was the one who beat the Packers. Like I think the Packers' first playoff loss at Lambeau Field
That's
was
crazy.
Mike Vick.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
I remember that because they were like, no, Packers never lost at home, in the playoffs. It was like the temperature's a certain thing. Mike Vick did it, and that wasn't so bad. So I was mad at him for a minute, but yeah, Mike Vick was always fun to watch.
Yeah, legend.
So you were a sixth round pick, picked by Denver. What was your draft day like? Like everyone like tells their draft day story. Like was it something crazy for you, or like JJ Watt where he was like fishing? Like what were you doing on draft day?
So, for me, my agent, we was like, we were prepared for it to go both ways. We were prepared for me to get drafted, and prepared for me to slip and get undrafted. So, I had to be realistic about things, and I didn't want to have a crazy draft party and end up not getting drafted. So, I just try to play it humble, realistic. I had a couple people over, a couple close friends, family, and we went out to eat that morning while the draft was on. Watching it go by, staying patient. Um, and then my dad actually, he was getting a little bit impatient. He was getting a little bit impatient and just wondering what's going to happen, because he always believed in me and always felt I was better than some of those guys who were going first. And finally, I was at home. We was at home at that time, still watching the draft, but just still waiting patiently. I was getting a couple calls from a couple teams saying I could be coming up, and then the Broncos made a pick for me, and it was crazy. Definitely cried, shed a little tear.
Oh yeah, I bet. That's like life changing thing. Like all the work that you've done from a kid
Hmm.
to getting drafted. Like I can't imagine the amount of work. I don't do that kind of work. No, but I was just watching highlights on you. I was just doing a little research, trying to be a professional podcaster as I am. You know what I mean? Uh,
Sure.
your your first career reception was obviously from Aaron Rodgers. It was against the Cardinals, and it was for a first down. What was
Yeah,
that moment like for you?
man, that was a big moment for me. I've been waiting my career, wait my whole life to catch an NFL pass, and show what I can do at the next level. So getting it and just getting it from Aaron Rodgers, that just made it 10 times more special. You know, thankful that he believed in me enough to give me those opportunities and those targets that game. And man, it just felt good. I had my family out there, my cousins. It was on Thursday night football. I was ready and primed. I was ready to put on a show and help my team win. So, it was no starstruck for me, no butterflies. I was ready to go out there and ball. I feel like that was my calling and my awakening. So, I was ready to have a game.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. You just felt like this is my time to shine. Like there was no, like you said, that there was no butterflies. There was just you
Yeah.
were just like, yo, I'm supposed to be here. I'm about to go get this thing, and that's just what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I worked hard for that moment. That was my third year in the NFL, and you would like for things to happen much faster than life actually plans out, but everything happens for a reason. And I went through a couple hardships in the NFL already, and it's being my third year. You don't know how many more opportunities you're gonna get. So just knowing that, I prepared as well as I could, and just try to stay confident as I could because that's what's going to take to be out there and deliver what's necessary and what's needed and expected.
Yeah, so like, who is the guy like on the team who like helped you? Was there like a veteran with like Devontae Adams or whatever, be Aaron Rodgers, whoever that was like helped you all along the way, like gave you some tips or whatever?
Yeah, definitely Devontae. I definitely say Tay. He from day one, he brought me along his wing, and helped guide me. Whatever he felt like they were saying, whatever he was seeing, whatever he felt that they were saying. He's the leader of our room. So if the coach is going to feel, if the coach is feeling a certain way about something, they're going to come to him and approach him about it. And, he was behind closed doors, feeding me, feedback from what they wanted to see, what he wanted to see, and, just helping me reach that next level because he knows how much I wanted it. He sees, what type of guy I am and player I am. So, you know, shout out to him for being that leader, help and just helping me.
Yeah, I've heard that from like in different interviews, MVS and different guys, how good Devontae was helping the young guys out and getting them going. So like coming in, like let's say coming into Green Bay,
Mm-hmm.
like you step in there like Aaron Rodgers, like what's that like? Like your maybe your first practice or whatever. Like you're like
Yeah.
yo, because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Like Devontae Adams is over here. Like all these guys. What was it like for you? Were you like I'm supposed to be here like you were saying, or like was it like whoa, like what I mean? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
over here like one of the best wide receivers in the league, but one of the best
Yeah.
quarterbacks. What was that like?
It was a surreal feeling, going from Denver, being around them, and then being around these guys, a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, and a bunch of winners, and I felt like from day one, I felt like everything happens for a reason, and again, like I was supposed to be there, and it was supposed to happen that way, but it was still such a surreal feeling, having them there and catching my first pass from him in practice, and just the level of expectancy just rises just being around them. You know what I'm saying? You just feel like you feel like you're up to the challenge. If you take it that way, just being around them, you just want to be great. Being, seeing what their career has been, and it's proof of the pudding what they do every day. So, being around that is contagious. You just want to be great and, put it on display every day. So being around them, that's just how I felt. And from day one, I just felt like you got to show out every day.
Yeah, they actually answered a bunch of my questions here in a row. I was gonna say so this season, Devontae Adams moved on, and that sucks for Packer fans and for everyone. But so like, do you have goals this season? Like, obviously, you think you're gonna get a lot more opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
is that your mindset? Like, this is my time to shine. Like, I'm gonna go get this thing.
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm going with no expectations. So, I don't have a set goal list with how, yet with how many catches and stuff I want to go. For me, it's about just being able to execute my position and my role at a high level. So that right now, that's my biggest goal going into next year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what my role is going to be yet. I'm blessed to take whatever role is given, and I want to prove that I can be a guy to help take this team to another level, help this team win, be accountable, and excel in my position. So wherever that is, wherever they need me, that's my goal, and that's how I want to come into to next year.
I like that. I like that. So so far in Green Bay, like what was your like highlight moment? Like what was your like that was awesome? Like maybe you're gonna tell your
Mhm.
grandkids about it someday. Like did you have a moment this past year where you're just like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's my first game. Playing my first game, starting, being a leader in targets that game, and catching my first pass from Aaron Rodgers. That's definitely something to brag about and something to be thankful about. What I'm saying? I don't take that for granted. Um, I wish I had, wish I was able to do more of that game, but just having an opportunity, I feel like that game changed my life in a sense. Showed a little people a taste of what I can do, and just the direction I'm gonna head and I want to head. So definitely that game was special for me.
What is your game day routine? Like showing up to the stadium, like let's say a home game.
Yeah.
Like do you have are you one of those guys that like do the same thing every time or you just I assume like most players are somewhat the same every time, but what's your game day routine?
I like to get there. I don't have nothing too special. I like to, go pick my fit out. Um, we're able to spend some time with our family before the game, so I make sure I get a meal. Probably eat breakfast with the family. Um, put my fit on, go there. I'll probably get there at least 2.5 hours before the game. 2.5, 3 hours. Make sure I get a meal there. Um, I make sure I try to go through a certain amount of stretches and get a certain amount of catches before I really start to mentally lock in for. I mean, I'm already locked in for the game, but before I'm able to really just relax. I get some stretches and I make sure I get a couple catches and get a feel for the ball, get a feel for the field and my cleats. So that's always every game. I bring tennis balls out there, just get my eyes adjusted to the setting, get to the lights out there. Hand-eye coordination. So that's been a routine for me, since I've entered the league. So nothing too special, just more so just priming my body, priming my eyes for the game mentally.
Yeah, I so like during practice, like that's something like I've always wondered, like how many balls like does a receiver like try to like catch a week like during the season? Like, is there a certain number or is it just like going through the motion? Like you don't count.
Yeah, no, we don't count. We don't count. It's all on you. However much you feel you need, and I try to get some before practice, or I get some after practice, and it'll tally up throughout the week. But that's one thing I'm big on. I feel I catch the ball well, so that's something I try to stay on top of, just making sure I get the reps in.
All right. So now I'm gonna let you go here in a minute, but I want to let the fans get to get to know you a little bit. What kind of movies are you into? Like, if you have a Netflix and chill type of night, what are you watching?
I'm a scary movie type of guy. I like to be thrilled. I like to be up on my seat. Um, so uh, all scary movies, all thrillers. That's my type of vibe.
All right, yeah, the opposite of me. The Blair Witch Project freaks me out. For years, me and my wife, we hear a sound that's a Blair Witch. She was like, "Go check it out." Like, no.
I feel that.
So living in Wisconsin, for the season, what's one of your favorite things about Wisconsin? Like, do you venture out like AJ Dillon's over here? You got the key to the door counting all these things. What
I don't,
do
no,
you
I
get
don't.
out anywhere?
I don't venture too much. No, I do like the restaurants. I'll say that. I like the spa, Lodge Kohler Spa. I'm always in there. They have a nice spa there, and they have nice food. at the restaurant up top of Lodge Kohler. So those are my spots probably. I got to get out and see more of Green Bay. See it in the summertime and see it when it's good warm weather. But in wintertime, you don't want to go nowhere. So
yeah, so I went bowling with Preston Smith, and we're gonna go bowling again next year. You're welcome to join us.
but yeah, I've
bowl
actually
at all?
done a little bit bowling since I've been in Green Bay.
Yeah, because there's not a lot. I mean, I love Green Bay, but I'm just saying for players, you know, I don't know, especially like if you're not from the town, there's not a lot to do. Bowling is a good thing. I'm gonna try to show Preston Smith some fishing, try to show him that Wisconsin life, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But I appreciate your time. I don't want to take too much more. I appreciate you joining me, letting the fans get to know you a little bit better, and ball out this year. I'm rooting for you. Everyone's rooting for you. I think there'll be a lot more opportunities this season, unfortunately, because Devontae's not here. But I'm looking forward to, you know, screaming your name Sundays. And cheers for it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good night, my man. Go Pack, go.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.